All right, so today it's Foundation Friday. This is where I try out a new Friday. Can you tell I've only had one cup of coffee? I have a playlist down below that has all of my Foundation Friday videos in it. And if you're in LA, we have all the meetup details figured out now for the meetup with myself and Project Beauty Share. So from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, April 28th at the Morphe Store in Brea Mall. That's when the meetup's gonna be, so I can't wait to hug you guys and hang out. So today's foundation I actually picked up when I was in Germany. I'm pretty sure I got this in the train station in Berlin. This is the Vichy Dermablend Fluid Corrective 16-hour foundation. When I was traveling, I asked for your guys' product recommendations and a bunch of you told me to pick up this guy. I'm a little bit confused. I'll get into it. We're gonna dive into all of that, but before we get into the foundation, I partnered with GlamBot for this portion of the video to let you guys know about their vault sale that's currently going on. From today, the 20th, until the 25th of April, they're doing this huge vault sale. You get $10 off your purchase of $20 or more, so you're getting 10 bucks off, and you're basically getting a $20 item for 10 bucks. Math. If you use the coupon LushTayla, which I'll pop in right here, that'll give you the $10 off. I've shopped on GlamBot for years. I get a lot of my high-end makeup on there because it's marked down, and the sales are the time to shop because that's when you get the best deals. I recently got the Lorac Pro palette on there that I used during 15 Days of Foundation a couple times. Got that one on GlamBot. I just always check their site, and when a good sale like this happens, jump on it. So I'll leave a link down below, but now on to the foundation. Every time I say Vichy, I just think of Avicii. So here's the situation with this foundation. I posted on Twitter because when I started looking this up, it looks to me like there's two different versions of this foundation. One is the US version, one is the European version, which isn't super uncommon or anything for products, but the bottles look totally different. There's a white bottle and then there's this black bottle. I asked you guys on Twitter to see if any of you knew, and it seems like that's kind of the going theory, is that it's just different packaging. So hopefully it's not totally different formulas, but it was also really hard to find like exact pricing and stuff for this product. So what I found is depending on where you get it, it's around 22, I would say, is like the lowest, maybe 20 if you get it on like a sale site or something, 20 to about $35 depending on where you get it. It comes in 1 fluid ounce of product. From what I can tell based on online, what I'm finding in the US, it comes in 5 shades. That's what I'm finding on most of these sites. I feel like when I was in store in Germany, they had more than 5 shades, so I'm not sure, but I have the shade 15 Opal. It says it gives you full and immediate correction of skin defects, even the most severe. I don't know if you would want to call someone's skin a defect, but okay. It says no mask effect, natural look, fluid and elastic texture that fits perfectly to the skin. It has SPF 35 in it. We are doing a flash test like usual. And it says it's supposed to last up to 16 hours. It has glycerin in it to maintain skin hydration for 24 hours. That appeals to me because I do have drier skin, and it says it's hypoallergenic. If you're ordering within the US, they have the white bottle version on Derm Store. And on the Derm Store description, it does say it's supposed to cover blemishes, scars, acne, redness, and has buildable coverage. On Vichy's website, I only see the white bottle version, which is retailing for $30 on their website, and I only see 4 shades. So I think this one might be totally different depending on what country you're in and everything, but that's the situation with this one, so we will see. But I'm going to do some swatches right here so you guys can see how the shade 15 Opal, which is the lightest shade apparently, compares to some of my other foundation shades. Alright, so here's some swatches. Right here's the Vichy foundation in the lightest shade 15 Opal. Next over is the Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo in the lightest shade Linen, CYO Life Proof in 101, NARS Ultra Radiant Foundation in Mont Blanc, Dermacol 208 Milk Makeup Blur Liquid in Fair, and NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia. I'm also a bit confused by the Dermablend situation because they look like the exact same logos, and Dermablend is on here, so I'm not sure if Vichy is the parent company of Dermablend and they're just more popular overseas, and then Dermablend is like the US brand. I'm not finding any information on Vichy's website about their relationship to Dermablend, if there is one, so let us know down below if you have any insight on that. So if you're excited for Foundation Friday, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, you can join the Bay Radio family and subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Here we go. Vichy Dermablend. Okay, so it's actually already 11:34 right now. I usually start my check-ins like first thing in the morning, but we had a little bit of a DIY foundation fail today. I was planning on filming a totally different video for this week's Foundation Friday. I was trying to DIY the cargo foundation in a bag thing, and I got like reusable baby food packets off of Amazon, and it was not happening. So here we are. Let's give this a good shake. So this is actually the first Foundation Friday that I'm off Accutane. I just finished yesterday in my time, a few days before you guys are seeing this video. I'm filming this on Monday. But my skin is still definitely more on the dry side since I've only been off it for about a day now. I actually just got my blood work done this morning. I am going to be having a full Accutane video coming, talking about the experience and everything. I've already washed, moisturized, and prepped my skin. The products I use will be down below. I feel like I have a little bit of leftover mascara or something because I did go to Cairo and the blood thing this morning. Okay, let's put foundation on. I feel like I've been talking for forever. This is supposed to be really full coverage. I'm going to start out with the brush on this side of my face, and we'll do a sponge on the other side. It feels actually a lot thinner than I was expecting. It has an interesting scent to it. It smells like carrots. Yeah, whoa, smells exactly like carrots. When I first put it on, I thought the shade was going to be way too yellow, but it's blending in to be, looks like a pretty good shade. It's about half a shade too dark. It is quickly kind of mattifying. It looked a lot more satin when it first went on, and now it's definitely mattifying a bit. I feel like sometimes it's hard for you guys to tell the coverage on camera. I would say this looks like full coverage, but on the spectrum of full coverage, with a brush, it looks like lighter full coverage. To me, it doesn't have as much coverage as something like the Huda Beauty foundation or the Jouer high coverage. It's a little bit below that, but it is covering my scarring and stuff. I can see a little bit coming through, but overall, I mean, if you're just looking at my face, it does look like full coverage on this side. So let's do the forehead. It feels kind of like just a thin cream foundation. Not looking good on my forehead. Bringing out my texture up here, so maybe this one is a sponge guy. Here's that one side with a brush. Let's go in with a sponge on this side and see how it does. Need to squeeze some more out. I feel like I put out a pretty generous amount, like a quarter size, and I'm already through that. Ooh, that's looking nice with a sponge. Actually, it's looking like about the same coverage, maybe a tiny bit less with a sponge, but the finish looks a lot better with the sponge. We'll see how it dries down because this does seem to mattify more as it dries. I'm going to smooth this over the rest of my forehead. Sponge is making a world of a difference right now. That looks so much better smoothed out with the sponge. The center of my forehead does not look bad for more of a matte foundation. I don't have any more product on my sponge right now. I'm just smoothing over the brush side. Shade is dark, like I think you guys can see on camera. You can see a little bit of a line, but I think because the undertone is okay, it doesn't look too orangey, it doesn't look that off. But as far as like an everyday shade, I would probably mix this with something. This one mattifies for sure as it sets down. It's definitely getting more and more matte. This is definitely a sponge foundation for me. It looks way less makeup-y with the sponge, and I do love how my forehead's looking right now. I'm hoping this isn't going to crease or anything. Right now, I'm liking it. I don't think it's the most full coverage. If you have acne, I don't think this would cover everything because I still can see like scarring and stuff coming through. You might be able to build this up, or this might be one that you have to spot conceal with. It looks like it's already starting to crease a little bit on my upper lip. It feels very lightweight. I don't feel like I have on like a thick matte full coverage foundation, and there's a tiny bit of tackiness, but I do think I could blend stuff on top of this, which I like. If I don't have to set my face, I don't set it because of my dry skin. I have a tiny bit left on the palette, so I might just try and build this up on my scarring just in this area. I don't want to bring it anywhere else. It's definitely building. That just covered my little scarring right there, that darkness coming through, and it doesn't look any heavier or cakey or anything as I built that up, so that's a good sign. So right now it's 11:49. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's now 12, what time is it? 12, come on phone. Wow, why are we having issues? I dropped my phone in the toilet in Nordstrom Rack yesterday. Bleached the crap out of this. Anyways, it's now 12:20. We're gonna call the check-in time 12 o'clock. I didn't actually have to powder with anything, which is yay for no powder. Everything blended out totally fine. It felt like I was just blending on top of a powder, nothing dragged or anything. So I always love when a foundation dries down to this kind of finish because then you don't have to like add another layer of product on top. The only thing I'm noticing right now is that it has oxidized already. It's oxidized, I would say about half a shade since I last saw you guys. It's actually giving me like a little bit of a tan look right now. I went in with this concealer today, and this is how I know this foundation is too dark, because I went in with this concealer and was gonna layer a lighter one on top like I usually do, and this concealer actually was light enough for my under eyes because the rest of my face is too dark right now. I am already getting a bit of creasing around my mouth and on my upper lip, so hopefully that doesn't get worse throughout the day. It does have a tiny bit of sheen to it. It almost looks like the finish of the NARS Ultra Radiant foundation, which I love. It actually looks pretty similar to that foundation. That one is still more smoothing, I would say, and more full coverage, but just how it's sitting on my skin right now, it actually looks pretty similar to that. So far, so good. I'm liking this one. So I'm gonna start a clip in natural lighting and we'll do a flash test. Okay, so here we are in natural lighting. I feel like it looks better in natural lighting than it did under the studio lights, at least like what I'm seeing. Okay, I think you can see the shade a little bit better right here. What is that? Oh, I have some scratch marks, I think, from Snoopy. And as I was looking back on the swatches, it even looks a little bit darker than Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo, and that one I definitely have to mix. So yeah, I think I would mix this one next time I wear it, but the finish and everything is looking really nice. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see the little creasing I'm talking about. So it's just settling in a little bit around my mouth. Super faint lines starting on my upper lip, but here's my forehead. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so let's go do a flash test. So this does have SPF 35 in it, and considering that it's a little bit darker in real life, it does have bounce back, but it looks very nice and like smoothing. The finish looks really nice in flash. So on the rest of my face, I really liked this bronzer shade, but it could just be because my face is already a little dark. But this is the medium dark, the Radiant one by CYO. And first I just went in with this middle shade because it looked like a nice kind of cool tone bronzer shade, but I ended up swirling all of them. And even though it looks like there's glitter a little bit in these two shades, when it's on the face, I don't really notice any glitter, and it looks like a really nice bronzy shade. So liking this for the shade my skin is right now. I actually tried this dollar blush that I got off Shop Miss A. I went in with this shade right here, and it looked a lot pinkier and more pigmented on my face than it did in the pan. This totally has that dollar blush smell. You know what I'm talking about? If you've ever tried a blush from one of these like off brands from Dollar Tree or whatever, it smells exactly like that. I actually have a lot of dollar makeup on right now. I also went in with the AOA highlighter, Halo highlighter. This is in the shade Allure. This is what I have on my cheekbones, and I also actually have this on the inner corner of my eye and a little bit on my eyelid as well. For my top eyeshadows, I used the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. They have a matte one and this one that has some like shimmers and stuff in it, but I like it because they still give you a couple mattes to work with. So I have this shade on. Silk Teddy is the shade that's all over my lids, and that shade was really pretty. And then for my waterline, to get that pink kind of on my waterline, I used Heartless by Urban Decay. And then to make it look less like I had pink eye, because that pink was almost a little bit too pink, I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter, I just went for a full-on purple lower lash line. So I took the BH Cosmetics Festival palette and I went in with Wicked, this like metallic purple shade right there. And then my lips are also dollar. Where'd it go? Cannot find the lipstick I used. I'm going to put the correct shade down below in the description box once I clean my desk and this thing appears somehow. Then I topped it off with the CYO lip gloss. This is in the shade Your Best Side, and it's just like a light pinky gloss. So that's everything. Check-in is 12 o'clock. I'm gonna be filming this late tonight to get that 10 hours in, hopefully. I'll see you guys in a few hours in natural lighting. Okay, so it's 5:19, so it's been on for a little over 5 hours right now. And I've been looking at it throughout the day, and it's been looking really good. There is some upper lip creasing. It's not too bad. Pretty faint, but it is there. I took off my liquid lipstick, but I have creasing right there and right there. But my forehead, I think, looks really nice. It actually has a little bit of glow coming through. I like the coverage. Overall, I like how this one is sitting on my skin. I like how I don't have any scarring coming through. And every time I looked in the mirror today, it did really remind me of that NARS foundation. So far, I think this is looking really nice, and I'm kind of shocked. For some reason, I just thought this one was gonna be so heavy and like matte and just not good for dry skin, but right now, I mean, looking good, looking good. So we'll see how this wears by the end of the night. The shade is a little bit more accurate right here. I think you can see the difference now. Maybe, maybe not. What are you doing? Okay, so it's now 9:30, so it's been on for almost 10 hours, 9.5 hours, and we're in different lighting again. So it looks good. I mean, same thing as before, just the upper lip creasing, and I'm getting a tiny bit of creasing right on the center, but not too bad. Overall, I think it looks pretty nice and just flattering for a matte foundation on dry skin. I'm trying to get it so it's not super bright. There we go. A little bit right there on the center, but for almost 10 hours, not bad. I like how just lightweight it feels and how it dried down to pretty much a powder finish. Like touching my face, it doesn't feel sticky at all now. It feels like powder, and it's actually not transferring right now. Is it? No, it's not transferring. Ooh, I like that. So overall, I'm pleasantly surprised with how this one wore on my skin. I was thinking about what I would mix this in with just to smooth it a little bit and lighten it, and I think I either would mix this with CYO Life Proof in 101, or I would mix it with my Lorac Natural Performance Foundation in lightest shade. I think both of those would be nice with this one. If the shade was right, I would wear it on its own. This one, I cannot really tell how this would do on more mature skin because it didn't seem to settle into, if I do get creasing on my forehead, it didn't seem to crease up there, so that's a good sign. But I hope you guys enjoyed Foundation Friday. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Was that an actual sentence? I think that was like 10 words in one. You can always comment down below with what foundations you want me to try out in future Foundation Fridays. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.